Good evening, everybody. Ready to get
But they were
started?
very social.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm getting a nod that we definitely have a quorum. Good to see everybody here tonight.
Hey.
Okay, we'll start with the minutes from March 10th. Anybody has any edits or changes? Feels like a long time ago, Mike, doesn't it? We were just saying that today. Feels like a very long time ago. And if there's no edits or discussion, then I'll take a motion.
Motion to accept the minutes.
Second. Is that Amy?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on to, we have three special,
Need
a
to
vote.
vote.
Yeah, vote. Okay. It's been a very long time since March. I've forgotten everything. Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? Any abstain? Okay, minutes accepted for March 10th. We'll do this 3 more times. We had a special meeting on March 17th. Any discussion or edits on March 17th minutes?
Motion to accept the March 17th minutes as written.
That's Celeste made the motion.
Second.
Ed seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain?
I abstain. I wasn't at the meeting.
Cheryl abstains. Okay, moving on to March 26th. Special meeting.
I move we accept the minutes for the March 26th meeting as presented.
Motion, and Whitlow second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain?
Aye.
Kate wasn't here, Cheryl?
Wasn't here.
Anybody else?
I caught the tail end of it, so. I
So
wasn't
Louis
there.
and Kate are abstaining as well.
Okay,
Yeah, they
so
weren't.
Louis, Kate. Okay. And our last one. Special meeting from April 9th.
I move that we approve the meeting minutes from April 9th.
Michelle. Do I have a second?
Second.
Louis? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Abstain. We'll keep our hands up.
Lori and Kate and Cheryl are abstaining.
Thanks, everybody. I know people have been asked, but is there anyone that would like to speak for citizens? Okay.
Hi, I'm Bethany. I am a Samuel's Public Library card holder, and I'm excited about summer reading that's coming up. I can't wait to sign up. Hopefully, I'll win one of the door prizes. And just want to thank you all for what you do to take your time out to keep this library running and functioning as the gem it is.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, great. I don't really have anything here under President's time. I think we'll just keep the meeting moving along. We've had a lot of events, but you're going to hear about those from the Development Committee. We have a lot to look forward to. You're going to hear that from Aaron. So we'll just move on to Aaron's library director's report.
Okay, and I swear again, this time I will not read through the whole thing. It's hard to do. There's just so much we got going on. So for general updates, the main things we have volunteers. We keep getting tons and tons of applications. I cannot stress enough how much we appreciate them. They've been just tremendously helpful with everything, especially with Taste for Books that we just had now a couple of weeks ago, which was absolutely fantastic. Staff really went all out with decorations and everything. We had a blast doing it. And I believe we had somewhere around 400 attendees this time around. So, and people were finding very interesting ways to park, which is a good problem to have. So it was very, very successful. I won't talk too much about that just because we'll probably go over that a little bit with development and everything else. But overall, we just had a blast being able to pull that off and hoping to make it even bigger and better next year as well.
We didn't get any complaints, did we? We didn't get any complaints, did we?
Nope.
From neighbors? Okay.
Not that I am aware of.
The new thing was people could vote for the theme for next year. So it was between espionage and
Animal Kingdom.
Animal Kingdom.
Which was a surprising tie. Personally, I thought espionage was going to win, but Animal Kingdom won this time. So there's a lot of fun we can do with that.
for next year's Animal Kingdom.
Yep. So we're thinking maybe doing different biomes for different areas of the library, rainforest in one area, ocean in another. We'll see. There's tons of different things we can do. So staff are already excited. Going on to some other things as well. We've been reviewing some day-to-day procedures, and we have decided to hire 2 part-time maintenance persons instead of using the cleaning service. It has been tremendously helpful as keeping some of the costs down, as well as they have been absolutely fantastic. You may see them around the library sometimes. They've been great additions to the team. For the facility, we did finally finish our server migration. Jessica was absolutely fantastic with that. It was completed in March, so we're now fully operational with it. They're fully virtualized servers, which is going to be incredibly better for how our online systems operate, and it's a safer tech-wise as well. So that's the biggest thing for technology. For usage and services, April stats weren't available at the time of this report. Mostly good. I will say our circulation has been down. There has been an issue with the industry. A lot of our book vendors are having problems getting contracts or worked out with the publishers. So there's been a lot of back orders. So we're trying to get the books in as quickly as possible. But that was down for March. Otherwise, traffic count's up 12%. Programming attendance was a little bit down, but it's now back up to 31% from last month, which is fantastic. Adult volunteer hours are up 74%. Like I said, we got a lot of applications for volunteering, and database has continued to climb again at 23%. So this time around, our Overdrive and Hoopla services have seen a big increase, as well as our Freegal Music, when we've started streaming, has seen continuous use. The biggest change in service has been in early April. We were alerted to the fact that AT&T and our other wireless providers will stop supporting email to text services in June. So, which is what we rely on for our ILS system for text notifications. We've reached out to several vendors, but I think we're going to go ahead and starting July 1st, switch over to not doing the text service just to keep costs down. We'll see how that goes as a trial run.
Are you saying text or text?
Sorry, text, TEXT. So these are the text alerts you're getting for holds and things. Some programming highlights. We had Mike Filament back for the Bigfoot program. If you didn't catch it this past April, he's still absolutely fantastic. We had about 43 people who attended. We're hoping to get him to come back again next year as well, and maybe some other cryptid-themed programs as well. Music and movement is still beyond popular with our youth service assistant, Carolyn Fink, which the average attendance is about 50, which is absolutely fantastic. We also had a really awesome story time with Sheriff Klein. We hope to have her back regularly. Some other highlights, just so I'm not reading the whole thing. The studio is still continuously popular. I believe we had about 33 individual appointments for just March and 32 in April, which is great. The memory lab still remains incredibly popular. And we're getting more and more steady use with the Media Lab sound booth, as well as different reporting projects in the sublimation printer, which is great. And then we had tons of other programs because, like I said, we always have something going on. So if anybody is interested in knowing more, you will see it in the report. Oh, and yes, we did. I did attend, apologies, Rotary with Amy this past month, where we received a $3,000 grant to help with the restoring of the story walk. There's some maintenance that needs done on it, as well as being able to do more continuous switching of the books and programs as well. So, which is fantastic.
You good? Okay. Next up is Strategic Planning Committee report. I'll turn that over to Joan.
Well, the Strategic Planning Committee met on April 15th and finished drafting the strategic plan for the board to look at. What we're hoping to do is that board members will look at the strategic plan, offer any input that they might have to somebody on the Strategic Planning Committee. And you can see who's on that committee by looking at the minutes. Everybody's listed. And if you have any thoughts about the plan, please let us know so that we can put it in final shape to be presented at the annual meeting in July. There's not anything too drastically different about the strategic plan. It was basically clarifying certain things, taking out things that no longer apply, but there was not anything major.
Once everybody gives their input back for the June meeting, then in July we'll vote on it and it'll change. It'll get prettied up. It'll look, it has a special format. This is the bare bones and the text.
Yeah, this is what you have in your packet is merely something that's convenient for the community to mark up and to make changes to. It will be good looking. Ms. Aaron will take care of that.
Make it look good. Thank you, Joan, and the committee for all your wordsmithing there. Is that it? Are you good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does anybody, I know it was kind of late coming to you. If anybody had a chance to look at it, does anybody have any comments?
I only had one question.
Uh-huh.
On the technology section, objective C is to seek out volunteers with technical skills. And I'm just wondering if we have, do we do a skills profile of our volunteers to know who's tech savvy and who's got other skills that they...
Yeah, Cheryl is fantastic with working with the volunteers. Usually as part of the application process, there's usually an area where they fill out their interests in the different skill sets that they're good with and willing to do. So usually that comes up, yes.
Do we track that so we know, okay, if we have a technical thing, here are our 6 go-to volunteers we can engage?
Should be on, the different applications.
Okay, good.
Yeah. We're fortunate. They come in a variety of skills because, so many of them are retired. So they bring with them all their skills, and in the process of interviewing and getting to know them, you get to know what they did in their work before. And, then she knows everybody, Cheryl. So she'll say, oh, maybe so-and-so can help with that.
Super.
Yeah. Yeah. We've got an amazing, just like in our board, we have an amazing array of volunteers with a variety of skills. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Reach out if you do. And that brings us to finance.
Yeah, several things. First of all, I'll go over them. We had a finance committee meeting on April 9th. It was a short meeting because we went into special meeting after that. But the gist of the meeting was that we were discussing how to handle the FOIA requests from the county. So we all agreed that Eileen's the one that will have to do a lot of it because it goes way back. And then that's basically what we all agreed to. And we also assumed that it would be unreasonable to assume that she could spend more than 10 hours a week on it. So I think since then, we have submitted back to the county
Our estimate.
the estimate of how much it would cost to do the FOIA, to fill the FOIA requests. So that's what the gist of the meeting was about. Any questions on that? Okay, other exciting news in finance. In reaction to the news of the county not renewing our MOA, the public has responded with several generous donations. Current donations amount to over $500,000, and with more donations expected. We have opened a new account for these donations. The account is going to be called and referred to as the Donor Emergency Fund. So this is the account we intend to use to keep us alive. As long, again, we hope this account grows, and with lack of funding, if we have a stop in funding, this will continue. We can keep the doors open. The characteristics of this fund: it's invested in tiered CDs, which means very low risk. It's easy. We have easy access to the funds, so the funds can be made available within 24 hours. We expect to earn about 4% on these. So I think it's wisely invested. And again, funds will be used to carry us through until things can be resolved with the county. We're not giving up on a county resolution. Our doors are open, and we are always open to dialogue with the county. So again, and if and when a resolution is made with the county, any remaining funds will go into the Samuels Library endowment account. And again, we want to thank the public for continued generous support. So, so again, a new account called, and that again, that's a new account called the Donor Emergency Fund. Okay, any questions on that?
I have a big thank you.
We all do.
I don't know how big of a thank you I can make it, but it's big.
It's big. Yeah. And people aren't telling us their names. It's not.
Some are anonymous.
Some anonymous. And some, yeah. So
the public is showing their response to this challenge with their dollars. And it's amazing. And we are extremely grateful.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Louie. We're extremely grateful.
I was about ready to cry when I heard it.
You'll be hearing more about this. We'll talk about this in our May 21st. We're having a public Q&A, and you'll hear more about the Donor Emergency Fund. But it's growing, and it's great public response to what's happening. It's very great.
Yeah. It's I'm torn because it's too bad it has to happen, but it's happening, and it's, so again, if we're still looking for a resolution with the county, and if we can have a resolution, we'll put whatever funds into the endowment account. So you can always hope. Okay. So other than that, we've got some imbalances here. Our operating account right now sits at $207,292. Our reserve account is at $133,229. Again, it's getting to the end of our fiscal year, so we expect those to be a little lower. The Mellon account right now is $113,080, and the Mellon short-term CD is $143,429. Okay. Our endowment account is $994,068. You remember, it usually sits around $1 million, a little over $1 million, but I think we've all seen the market do what it's done the first part of this year. I think it's just the nature of hopefully it'll come back. The Huber, we have a Huber fund, and that's still at 61,000. And then again, the Donor Emergency Fund that I spoke to.
What am I looking at? Is that in the packet?
No.
Okay.
Did you? Yeah, it's not in the packet.
These are up to date.
Yeah,
We get them, pull them live.
It's going to be hard to retain that information.
We expect there'll be a quiz afterwards, and we expect you to know the numbers. I'm just kidding. If you want me to send it to you, I can email them to you. That would help.
Yeah, I might
Okay.
like to take a look at it. Yeah.
Okay.
I noticed some of the numbers.
Okay. And then our community foundation accounts are at 7,000. One's at 7,878. No, is that right? And then the other one's at 7,078. Very close. So anyway, those are our community foundation accounts. Any questions on all that? Okay. Okay, and in your back, what you do have in your packet
Is the budget.
is the budget, where is our income and expenses to date. So we did receive our final appropriation from the county, so we're at $1,024,000 from the county, and that's 100% received. Let me see, other donations, you'll see that the budget for donations was $5,000. We've seen $19,039. That includes a $12,000 donation for legal, which has been expensed. On the sheets, hopefully you'll see that the blue means that that's what's coming, that's what we use county funds for. And then the brown colored is what we use state funds. There is an overlap when it comes to salaries, and you'll see that in the notes. That's county funding provided $623,000 year to date, and state funding was $62,000 of salaries, because some of our salaries are reimbursed from the state because of, but if they meet certain criteria.
Yeah.
If certain criteria is
Much for that purpose.
yeah, then we can use state funding for that. Everything else you see that is not color coded is what we cover with fundraising and other monies.
Is there anything here that's with federal? Because I keep hearing in the news, like the library ILMS or something like that is.
So it's completely unrelated to state aid. We don't get any direct federal funding. Where that money goes is to the Library of Virginia. So that covers things like the databases that we have access to, such as the Find It Virginia databases. That's things like Bring Fuse, Universal Class, and a good portion of the databases that we use. As far as I'm aware right now, that is not under threat. They are at least good for the next 6 months or so, what I know for certain. So nothing to worry about there at the moment.
Okay, all right, thank you.
And we do receive federal funding through the E-rate program, but
Yes,
I'm unaware that that's,
Not at the moment, no, I haven't, yeah.
so that covers our internet connection costs.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem to be much with the grants and reimbursements. Or is that only a portion of that?
That is what we've received to date. Now, you can apply for other things if they fit the criteria for E-rate, and we will be doing some upgrading to our wireless access points in the coming year, and they've signed off on that too. I think it was about $7,000 actually. So it'll be a nice chunk to help pay for that, because that's due for upgrade.
Okay.
And you'll note that if you take note, legal services, they're in the no coloring, and that's 100% covered by restricted donations. So I want to make sure that everybody knows we're not using any kind of funds for legal expenses. Those are donations. The other thing I will point out is that building maintenance and repair, it looks like it's 824% over budget, but that's because we decided early on in the season that we were going to do carpet and bathrooms. So most of that is for the carpet and the bathrooms that we've redone, that we pulled $47,000 out of reserves to cover the expense for that. And that's why you'll see that's 824% to the budget right now. Any other questions for Eileen?
Okay.
Okay. That is the finance report.
Whitlow, you want to give us a bill committee?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
We met April 16th, and it had been a couple months since we had met because of snow and schedules and whatnot. But what had happened in the interim, Mrs. Cobbs informed the development committee when she came back that she had been taking the time and she had been working with everybody and been working with General Hobgood and getting the planned giving initiative a lot of energy, and she's working on that diligently. Also, Mr. Jenkins began a discussion and possibilities of creating a business sponsorship program. This is something him and I had discussed. He sort of took the ball with that, ran with it, and you'll see in the packet we've got a rough draft of this. So everyone, please take a look at that. And if you see anything that you're not happy with or very happy with, please let us know. There's also the development plan committee or development plan, which we had not updated last year. And this year we are going through and changing some of the wording and looking at the mission because things have obviously changed. And since they have changed, we're sort of updating ourselves so that we can stay abreast of those changes. And if there are any fundraising that we had to look into to keep up. So if anyone has, just like Joan said, if anyone has anything with the draft, please let us know. And then also we have fantastic news. Our fundraising income of the year so far has been amazing. Silver Tea was an unbelievable success. And this is thank you to all the people that put that together. Melody, thank you very much. We raised $56,380. And the donations are still going. Our gift giving this year was also amazing, and we raised $21,437. And Taste of Books is just absolutely knocked it out of the park this year. We're a little over 33,000, and there may be a little bit more of that, but we're still doing the costs of what it took for the event. So we featured over 40 silent auction items, and if you were there, they were absolutely fantastic. Over 20 table hosts, which was fun, record-breaking attendance. I mean, it was almost standing room only. It was quite the event. Money raised, we talked about that. And one more thing, the Front Royal Elks Lodge provided the Children's Department programming, including the sponsorship of the 2025 Children's Summer Reading Club, and I think that was, 7,000, right around there. And our next goal is to finish the draft, finish the business packet, and we'll talk more about that at our next meeting. Any questions on that? Yeah.
I just want to add, we do plan on presenting the development plan for the fiscal year 2026 and the business sponsorship possibly in July for approval. So between that time and before June 11th, which is when our next development committee meeting is, if you have any comments that you want us to look at during that meeting, just send me a Whipple email and we'll make sure we discuss those at the next development meeting.
Thank you.
Yes.
And just so people, I know this is a point of confusion, just so we're clear, that those dollars go into the reserve account. That's why you do not see them on the income statement. So I just want to make sure that at least we're all aware of how that works.
Thanks for clearing it up.
Yeah, because I know you're spouting out like really good numbers, but you're not going to see them on the income statement because they do not become income until we need to use them, but we keep them in the reserve. Those kind of donations go right into the reserve account.
Is that the same when the audit report comes out as well? It doesn't show up as income?
No, it will.
It'll show up, yeah.
Okay.
She'll just merge everything together.
This is an operating budget we're working off.
Yeah, this here is operating budget.
Okay.
That's it.
And I'm sorry, I forgot to mention the fossil report. Mrs. Pat gave an overview of the current fossil plans and actions. They set up an online membership for sign-on options, and they have cool T-shirts that they're getting ready to put up. Sorry, flip the page. Now I'm done.
Okay, thank you very much. Celeste, bringing that over to you. This is the Committee on Trustees report.
Yes, and we do have an update on the number of positions on the board that we have available. We did receive a resignation letter from Daniel Pond. So we actually do have 2 openings. Fortunately, we have 2 fabulous candidates. Jean Kilby has submitted an application as well as Karen Battle. Karen is, I know, probably new to most of us. I think most folks in this room probably know of Jean or have met Jean over the years. But Karen happens to be here tonight, so if you'd like to introduce yourself this evening after the meeting, please feel free to do so. And I will be getting the copies of the applications and the resumes out to everybody this week. If you have any questions, concerns, please feel free to get back to me by June 1st so that we can address anything before the July meeting. And that is all.
Are we specifically looking to fill Daniel's expertise?
No, not at this time.
Okay.
Thanks, Celeste. Okay, that brings us over to policies and bylaws. Kim?
The Policy and Bylaws Committee met April 21st. We're in the process of reviewing a disclaimer for Studio 330, and we hope to finish that up before the July meeting. Our next meeting will be on June 9th at 5:30. The only action that we took at the meeting was to look over a proposed amendment to the bylaws, which simply, the amendments necessary or needed so that the language of the bylaws in Article 12 corresponds to the amendment to the Articles of Incorporation that we previously passed on March 17th. So you have a copy of the bylaws behind the committee meeting minutes. And then it shows the new language, proposed new language for Article 12, which is exactly the same language as the language in our amended bylaws. So the committee moves that the bylaws, Article 12 of the bylaws be amended as set forth on the attached draft.
We will need a motion for this.
I move that the bylaws.
That was the motion. We need a second. Sorry.
I'll second.
Okay. Thanks, Joan. We have a motion to amend these bylaws and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Okay. Thank you. Anything else, Tim, that you're,
No.
okay. Chris, can you hear what's up with fossils?
That,
Hold on.
First off, this is 2 months combined into one because our meeting in March was delayed. In that meeting, we elected my successor, Sydney Patton, and the person who will be the next vice president, Nyoka DeVincentis. They'll start in July. We approved $15,675 for library spending requests. I won't mention some of them because they're small change, but there was $7,000 for the OCLC database, which was explained to me, and I still have no idea what it is. $5,000 for Hoopla, $1,500 for the Silver Tea event, and $1,000 for adult summer reading prizes for Bethany. We are in the process of updating our articles of incorporation and bylaws. We've very creatively cribbed yours. So that should be done by this week. If not, it will be done early next week.
Thank you. And thank you for all the contributions. Couldn't do without you. You know, anyone use Hoopla?
I
Have
use-
Hoopla fans?
That's for them.
Yep. Thank Fossil. Now it's an expensive ticket item. Okay. County report. Cheryl, you have anything for us? What's new?
I think we're all pretty much together on the what's new. So I did want to say, I attended the Silver Tea, and that was fabulous, as always. Everything you all do always, and when I say that. And then the Taste of Books, my goodness, I thought last year was my first year. I had no expectations at all of what it was like or anything. Got my husband to come this time. And this is not his thing to be social, and he had a ball. So that's saying something. And, it continues to amaze me when I walk in here with everything hanging over the way it is, that everybody has still got a smile on their face and doing just like they did before all this. So you all amaze me for that, and all the staff. And I would like to say the idiocy on my part has stopped, but I don't think it has. I look forward to November. And if anybody wants to come work the polls with me, We've got a little group going on there. I don't know how we got in trouble that one day because evidently somebody thought we were yelling and fussing at each other, but it's been a lot of fun. I have not seen any yelling and fussing, but hopefully we're successful. And then in November, we're successful. And in January, I've got a long list of things that I'm hoping that we get 3 on. I'm amazed at what's on our agenda for tomorrow night. I'm planning to make some remarks on that. Hopefully, I do it with some grace because my grace is running out. But
You always do.
again, I appreciate everything, and you guys have been very accepting of me. And that's saying a lot. I don't come from the best of circumstances, but I appreciate how everybody is so gracious to me.
Well, you know that you're our personal hero, so.
I don't qualify for that, but
Yeah.
we'll see you tomorrow night.
We'll see. And the following week too, sounds like. Tuesdays are gonna be.
This has not gotten to be my favorite days, but we'll get through them.
That's
right. Days are coming.
That's right. Yes, better days are coming. Okay. All right. That's, we good? You're.
Unless, like Michael, something flies in my head.
Yeah, just speak up if it does. As far as old business, I'm not sure that we have much in the way of old business. I didn't put the building maintenance committee on here because there was no meeting last month. And I'm told there's really not anything
Pretty low activity over the last 30 days or so. I mean, there was a small water leak in the server room, and the HVAC folks came and fixed that. And I'm told that the ladies' restroom is completed. I haven't been in there to inspect it.
If you're screaming, we'll know you were there.
And that's pretty much it. There was nothing else significant. The lawn care work is working out very well.
Here's going great. Yeah.
Front door.
Did we hire a company for
Front
it?
door's working.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're waiting
Front doors
for parts to do
good.
more to it.
Good.
And then we did pull the trigger on the striping.
Okay. We'll save that for next month.
Yeah, and the bathrooms look great. I mean, considering that they were 15 years old, they're now new sinks, new tile, ADA compliant.
New mirrors.
New mirrors. So they're good to go. So we feel good about that.
Yeah.
All right. As far as any other things anybody has?
I'd like to say something. Not too much, but I checked out the fossil system. I finally signed up, and I got to try out the online systems. That was interesting. I didn't realize.
Oh, to be a member?
Yeah. So
Yeah. How'd that go?
I had a little problem with the online. I was like, I could have just given them cash. I went to the QR code, but I got through it.
Good.
And then the Valley Corral was just amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I've never been to anything like that before, and I had a tear coming from my eye. So
Yeah.
it was I had an amazing time. Plus the time, even just walking with the staff leading up to it was something, because I don't get to spend time with them really other than asking them questions. So it was kind of special to me.
Just so everybody knows, the Valley Chorale is a local choral group. Every year they do concerts all over, and they reached out to the staff and wanted to do something nice for everybody, and invited them, gave them free tickets, and invited them to come. And then and the board and some of the board, and when they got there, they were asked to stand up and be recognized. So that's what.
It was a little awkward. Everybody's
You were
laughing
there
and
too.
looking at you.
Yeah.
and thanking you when they're leaving. They're like, thank you. I'm like, it's not me, it's the staff. They did all the work.
So that was very special.
Yeah, it was very special to me. I posted about it on Facebook afterwards, saying how it touched me. So I don't know who to thank, but it was great. I think that sums it up. That's
Okay.
all I have to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, May and June, this is homework time. So we have a strategic plan to look over and get comments back to Joan. We have a draft business sponsorship packet to look over and get back any comments before June 11th, did you say? June 11th, as well as the draft development plan. So we try to do these development plan, strategic plan, we try to look at every year, and we'll be voting on all of this in July. So if you can get your comments back, that would be great. And then we'll vote on these plans and packages come July, along with our new candidates. So Celeste will send out the application. So if you look that over and get back to Celeste, and then we'll have voting on candidates in July as well. So even though this is a short meeting tonight, there's some homework assignments.
Is the period for getting applications closed?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. We're good.
Don't worry, we'll have lots of openings next year
Yeah, I
because
know.
Madeline and I are going to be done with our 9 years. And we have 4 freshmen who may or may not choose to stay on. So we'll have at least 2 openings next year. So do keep your eyes
I don't want
open.
to talk about that right now. Just touch. Yeah. Can't go.
I don't feel like a freshman.
And then the last bit of new business is to let anybody that has questions and wants to talk directly to library people and not have any rumors flying around, that the Q&A is on May 21st. It's a Wednesday evening, 6 o'clock. Please let people know if they have questions or they're not sure about something, that they're welcome to come here and ask us directly. And we're more than happy to answer any questions.
Do you want to plug tomorrow night? Thursday night?
Oh, and then on Thursday, if you missed the Silver Tea or one of the forums, Colleen Snyder is doing we wanted to get it on tape. So if you came, Colleen did this amazing job called Echoes of the Past on the history of the library and the library ladies. So if you'd like to become a Silver Tea library lady, I still have buttons. You're welcome to come on Thursday and listen to this history of the library. She does an amazing job, and you wouldn't believe how we go back to 1799, but since the 1920s, the ladies of the town held Silver Tea every year on George Washington's birthday. I won't do a spoiler alert, but it's incredible. They were just incredible women who made the library grow and made the library happen. Those of you who are there, Colleen did an amazing job, and we're going to have her do it one more time. And she's going to expand a little bit on it and do current ladies of the library, what in the last more recent years, as well as the ones from the 20s and 30s and 40s.
Do we know what time that is?
I believe that's at 6.
Look that up. Yep. So we welcome you to come to that. We're going to tape that one so that we can have it in our archive going forward, because it's truly an amazing piece of history for all these years, and how many community players, and you'll recognize names, they go back so far, Ramsey and Marlowe and like all of these people that and you see their businesses every day have been part of the growth of this library. And so this community is tied together with the library. The threads are very strong.
It's at 6 p.m.
At 6 p.m.
It's Thursday.
Late.
Yeah.
So I took my button and I donated it to the Warren Heritage Society.
Oh, good,
So they'll
good.
have it in their archives as well.
Okay. Good. Yes.
Didn't want to wear your ladies of the library?
I stood there proudly among the 3 men that were there.
Okay, if no one has anything else, then we can be adjourned. Going once, going twice? Okay, thank you all for coming.